Greetings everyone. Now this video is covering the fixes, optimizations, and other fixes made to Warframe with update 31.1 on the 10th of February 2022. Starting with the game's optimizations, then moving onward. DE upgraded their compiler, and they have seen small optimizations across the entire codebase for a faster Warframe experience. They anticipate this to have no noticeable stability changes, but they request Tenno to report any oddities they encounter. They made a small tweak to DirectX 12 startup to try to improve support for systems without the latest Windows updates. They made micro-optimizations to the codecs, several general optimizations, general performance improvements to DirectX 12, numerous optimizations towards the infested corpus ship tileset, a crash when aborting DirectX 12 on startup, made systemic micro-optimizations to PC rendering. They optimized away a few single-frame hitches and potentially fixed a rare crash. They made numerous optimizations towards the defense area in the Grenier settlement tileset, a minor hitch every time a player jumped to the K-drive, necromech, or operator. They made micro-optimizations to navigation startup, small optimizations to level streaming and loading, and fixed an ultra-rare crash that could occur for hosts, and they made a micro-optimization to loading DirectX 12 and the classic engine. For Captura fixes, DE scaled down the Captura controls list to cover less screen space, fixed not being able to fine-tune the exposure setting in the Plains of Eidolon Captura scene, your Warframe's orientation changing whenever the Captura lighting color settings are changed, and they fixed some text overlap in longer languages in Captura scenes. Lastly, before we get to the overall game fixes, we have new war replay fixes. We've done our best to focus on the larger issues and those that affected replay functionality in time for this mainline release. Fixed misaligned railjack when entering the Archwing during the New War quest, your companion appearing in a cutscene in the New War quest, holding a light incorrectly during certain parts of the New War quest, being in your default customizations in certain moments during the final mission of the New War quest, a group of the Brachiolis missing some of their health in the first mission of the New War quest, an infinite loading screen during a pivotal transition moment during the New War quest, and they fixed a certain character's obvious toss being titled Ripline. It is now titled Obvious Reach. There are still a number of reports that are being investigated, so expect some more improvements to trickle in during future hotfixes. Moving on to the game's overall fixes with 31.1, Digital Extremes fixed receiving all the Protovia armor evolved forms, that being Emergent and Apex if you only purchased one of the Protovia armor parts. They fixed the Galvanized mod bonus damage per status, not functioning for numerous projectile weapons, with a note that a previous change had them operate relative to base damage, but the code was incorrectly getting base damage from the impact behavior rather than the projectile. This problem was pervasive, and there are hundreds of weapons in our game. Please be patient and send updated reports if something slipped through the net. They also fixed a crash with DirectX 12 enabled and skipping cinematics in the New War, an improbable crash that could occur in ultra-rare cases while hosting, a functionality lost during the final mission in the New War quest when using the Shorzen and Transference at the same time, and when using Shorzen and Navigation at the same time. They fixed the ability to start a Nama bounty in a pre-New War Plains of Eidolon session, which resulted in a handful of progression stoppers, a crash when returning to Cetus and Fortuna while your scanner was equipped, a rare DirectX 12 crash during the New War quest related to a transmission, a permanent white screen during the New War quest, a progression stopper in the Sister of Parvo showdown fight where client enemy hounds remained indefinitely after mercying, a softlock when attempting to customize a character in the New War quest for the first time, missing sentient anomaly objectives if the public mission was started from the Lisette. They fixed a lack of enemy spawns in the Gas City Sabotage tileset, most noticeably when the tileset is selected for Sanctuary Onslaught. They fixed the Plains of Eidolon capture stage bounty bonus failing if you kill enemies in the window of time after successfully capturing the target before rewards are given, a cache being buried in the terrain in the post-New War Plains of Eidolon, the escort drone attempting to path under a fallen tree in the post-New War Plains of Eidolon, getting a black screen when a client enters a railjack slingshot of the host player, Prophet Taker's health regenerating at times it shouldn't, an inability to hit ragdolling enemies enemies with Ureli's Aqua Blades, large amounts of spot loading when spawning an on-call Kuva Lich, heavy spot loading when opening the contracts menu in Ticker's shop, spot loading any cosmetic you try to preview, spot loading unpurchased stances when you try to preview them, spot loading all the color palettes when customizing a color, and then spot loading it again when selecting a color palette, when viewing a crew member with customization attachments in the contracts menu, and when entering a town hub, that being Cetus, Fortuna, and the Necrolist. A spot load when viewing profiles in the Lisette or hub, a noticeable hitch when activating the on-call gear item that could result in host migrations and disconnections. Fixes were made towards dojo hitches, mostly when coming back from the Railjack mission and the Lisette, a black screen during the Apostasy Prologue quest, the Maker quest ending on a white screen, an inability to block with your exalted melee weapon if your normal melee weapon has a melee combo counter and you're in exclusively melee mode. They fixed the ability to unequip your heavy weapon with the weapon swap key after death and revive while holding it, the vaulted Neo P2 relic still dropping in Pluto Proxima Fenton's Field missions instead of the intended Harrow Prime relics. They fixed various cases of transference allowing you to clip through the level, an inability to fire your amp when picking up a mission objective, that being the data mass, power cell, and more, as the operator. Missing animations when carrying the data mass while using the Sirocco, an ability to block the Raptor inside of the gravity conveyor, Guardian Eximuses, and potentially other enemies getting stuck in certain stairways in the Jupiter Gas City tileset, the preparation mod not setting your max energy after entering a Sanctuary Onslaught conduit. They fixed the Vent Kid Syndicate indicating that you can rank up when you're not actually eligible yet, void dashing and rolling in quick succession as a post-New War character resulting in becoming stuck in a broken animation, a post-New War character being shown when replaying the cinematic of certain quests, rare case of normal enemies spawning in mastery rank tests that would then attack the fake enemies, an inability to spawn Deimos Saxum Eximus, the Battlist, Brachiolist, Coralist, Concalist, Oculist, and the Symbolist in the Simulacrum. They fixed the Sortie Disruption missions, never choosing to be on a lower level node in the star chart, Nama enemies spawning too close to the gates of Cetus and Fortuna, a UI error in the arsenal when equipping the Flux Overdrive mod on the Tenant Flux rifle, overly bright reflections when viewing the Railjack star chart. They fixed seeing a placeholder name for a squadmate Hound if you join the mission in progress, missing Lotus voiceover when playing the War Within quest after the completion of the new War quest. They fixed a few Venus Proxima Corpus enemy unit types having incorrect names, that being the Shield Drone and Vapos Railgun Mower instead of the Tarot Shield Drone and Tarot Railgun Mower. They fixed the wrong Kuva Lich transmission, triggering which could also result in spot loading, overly bright metallics on the Satyr Prime operator sleeves compared to the rest of the suit's design. They fixed an unavoidable teleport volume spawning inside a spy vault on the Corpus ship tileset, rare issues where an underground tunnel conflicted with geometry on the surface of the Cambion Drift. They fixed the operator not playing the chosen animation set when viewing a new one, Javelok projectiles flying side on to the direction of travel when the Renuntio speargun skin is equipped, which also fixes the same scenario for the Scourge and Scourge Prime with the Karkanos speargun skin equipped. They fixed the Grineer Exo Skuld cruise ships being manned by Cosmo troops instead of Exo troops. They fixed lingering lighting and effects in the Plains of Eidolon after the completion of the New War quest, a distorted effect on the Terrorless footsteps, the Verve ephemera appearing huge while in Arcwing and with Arcwing dioramas in the market, Wisp missing her custom walk animation during certain movements in the Heart of Deimos quest, a vehicle in Cetus having no collision, some places where players could get stuck and hung up on geometry in the Grineer Galleon tile set, missing door frames on the Sands of Anaris quest, seeing water textures outside of its boundaries in the Mariana Earth tile set, some overly bright reflections in the Jupiter Gas City tile set, a potential fix was made for hearing a high-pitched sound when entering the Orvalis, a typo in a daily tribute message for Teshin, seeing double helmet chair materials, Cambion Drift animals showing an empty gender stat in the Capture UI, the infested animals do not have gender variants. They fixed a cosmetic issue where being downed while only carrying melee weapons would leave them looking holstered when somebody revived you. They fixed clients seeing having the Armored Vault health bar grayed out in the Weaken the Grineer Foothold Plains Vital on Bounty, an inability to use the same binding to open and close the tactical menu while piloting Railjack, Ivara's Cloak Arrow not attaching to your own companions, the case of escaping the Grineer Settlement tileset bounds, waypoints in Volatile and Orphix missions appearing out of place when entering the Railjack Slingshot. They fixed the Hijack Rover health drain being displayed as -10 seconds instead of -10, the frontal part of the left Templar Prime sleeves appearing darker than the right. They fixed dying as the operator in the Mastery Rank 24 test, respawning you as a mini Excalibur, being unable to cycle Grendel's Nourish options if you don't have the energy to cast it, the Void Rigged Necromech missing its Corn Cob Bodus in the in-game market diorama. They fixed audio reverb position being attached to a player eye position instead of camera position, Railjack's hologram staying the default blue color after returning to your orbiter from a relay or town hub if you change the color. They fixed enemies held by Zaku's gaze attempting to attack friendly units, that being specters, crewmates, or other player companions. They fixed the Protovia Syandana not attaching correctly to the Volt Electrolyst skin. Fixes were made towards Warframes having weird head movements during the Vor's Prize quest. They fixed effects missing on the staff ends when using the Samadhi staff skin while Wukong's Primal Fury is active, misaligned UI animations in the themed Arcane Manager screen, the glass shard in the Galleon being able to be scanned before you complete the Spy Vault in the Sire's visual quest. They fixed NPCs in their idle patrol behavior, sometimes being unable to path correctly, Warframe clipping into the codex table when installing the communications segment during the Vor's Prize quest. They fixed the Grineer Pod Launcher Cannon not working in the Grineer to Corpus ship invasion and crossfire missions, inconsistent behavior between K-Drive grinding with and without the Velocipod skin, which also fixes some inconsistency with the K-Drive speed with and without that skin. They fixed light flickering issues near one of the windows in the Grineer C-Lab tileset, Ureli's bubble effects being overly bright. They fixed a broken lock tag on the Mark of the Beast mod, broken camera angles during the obscuring the puzzle elements in the Lure music puzzle room, an enemy teleporting while performing a stealth kill with a two-handed Nikana, rain visual effects being so thick that it makes it hard to see in the Awakening quest. They fixed being able to hit negative modding capacity after hitting the mod and then upgrading an equipped mod beyond capacity as a Mastery Rank Legendary 1 player. They fixed seeing a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids operator when attempting to customize while standing in front of Onko's table. Sometimes seeing jittery wisp motes, losing the HUD when equipping the Shorzin at the same time as a K-Drive. They fixed equipped Kavat or Kubrau lifting us into its forelimb when swapping between pets, some colored emissive materials rendering us pure white in the Gas City tileset. They fixed clients seeing both worms active when in the Cambion Drift, some funky looking water in the Orokin tileset, a sound build-up when using Mirage's Eclipse with Hall of Mirrors, Iron Wake star chart text overlapping with Mantle for numerous languages. They fixed blinding teleport light in the Corpus Railjack 7 Sins mission, the Tenno Lab in the dojo having incorrect glass textures, a script error when casting Grendel's Feast ability, foliage decoration having a visible name tag when looking at it in the dojo, numerous UI screens that being Syndicate rank, dojo room construction, helmet feeding, etc. being ineligible when a lighter UI theme is equipped. They fixed the Prelude to War not appearing when searching in the Codex, a Fortuna fragment spawning inside geometry after the completion of the new war quest, an erroneous space in the helmet UI which could result in misaligned cursor selection zones. They fixed a dimmed or black screen if you skipped a cutscene at a certain moment during the new war quest, some foliage clipping during a cinematic in the New War quest, the Orphix not despawning during the first mission of the New War quest. They fixed certain characters having something on their face after the completion of the New War quest and attempting to play the Vox Solaris quest. They fixed odd movement animations when entering Void mode and rolling at the same time. And lastly, for update 31.1, Echoes of War, they fixed all players seeing a fade in and out effect each time someone enters or exits the Railjack. That was update 31.1 Echoes of War. It released on the 10th of February 2022. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.